Oh, say, can you see? So I was online the other day doing some stuff. Insert joke here. I couldn't think of anything funny to say. And we just started, so here we go. Well, anyway, one of the things that I've always wondered to myself was, what's the stupidest hobby in America? Because some other places have some really dumb hobbies, by my own opinion, by the way. So I wanted to compile a list of the 5 dumbest hobbies in the United States of awesome. Now, like most grown men do, the first thing I did was actually wanted to see what AI thought, because I wanted to see if they had opinions. And turns out ChatGPT thinks that the stupidest hobby in America is fishing. And I totally agree. That thing is so stupid. Have you guys ever watched a fishing competition? Have you ever been to the airport? Have you ever been to the dentist's office? They're all very similar because it's just sitting around, kind of waiting for something to happen, but nothing ever does. Gosh, it is so silly. Can you believe people actually do this for fun? Now, I've never fished in my life, which is why I have the ultimate basis and full standing to be able to make strong opinions about it. Because I haven't experienced it, so therefore I'm an expert. I think I have fuzz in my hair. Gosh, that's embarrassing. Guys, did you see some fuzz in my hair? Weird. Hobbies are supposed to make you happy. That's one of the most important things about a hobby. But if your hobby doesn't make me happy, then I think you're stupid. And I think your hobby's weird. And I'm gonna put you in this list. Now, some of you may be scholars and have played the game Minecraft, where you can actually go and fish in that game as well. And guess what? It's so slow. Only people who fish are people who are full-on live streamers and they just need an excuse to stop and read chat. But imagine doing that in real life and saying you're doing it for fun. I mean, really. It's so weird too when you think about fishing. Like, you catch to release. Most people don't actually catch fish to eat them, which is odd because the other comparable sport or hobby is hunting. And I think hunting's fine because a lot of times it does great things, like in terms of taking down invasive species and overpopulation. But more importantly, when someone goes out hunting in my family or something, they come back and they have meat. And so I get to have like cool meat. I get to have some venison or some elk meat. And I mean, it's pretty awesome. But when you go fishing, you do nothing. You catch a fish, you put it back. After you take your little picture, you Photoshop, and then that's it. You put the fish back like nothing ever happened. This is the only type of fishing that I like. Oh yeah. Don't put that in the video, gosh. I don't feel like there's too much more to say about fishing. You can go to the fishing competitions and talk about how people are literally throwing hands about other fishers of men, except fishers of fish, non-biblical. But how other people are putting lead in their fish to make them heavier. And like, these guys are ready to break out their concealed carries and shoot each other. These are just fingers. Do not demonetize me. I still have 0 views at the time of making this video, so I'm definitely not monetized. Like, if your hobby turns into a competition and it becomes something where you're throwing hands and it's not in some sort of physical, like there's no physical effort to it other than, hold on to it, Ron, I got one on the end, buddy. Reel her in, reel her in. That's like old man rain bet right there. Rain bet, reel it in. Yo, Chad, I just won $1,000. Yo, Ron, I just caught a big fish. It is the exact same energy. Holy cow, I just realized that. Embarrassing. I'm not gonna make this a whole video on fishing. I just thought it was funny that AI gave me that as the most lame and worst American hobby. I asked it for like 5 hobbies just out of curiosity, and it literally only gave me fishing, and then wrote unironically like a 6-page essay on how fishing is stupid. And I'm not even joking. I didn't prompt it for that, by the way. It just did. Anyway, that's the only one that's like AI, by the way. The rest are actually things I thought of. I just thought it was funny enough that I had to include it. So, you know, don't kill me. Number 2, line dancing. One of the things that I've realized is very popular for adults once they get past the age of 22 is to go line dancing every weekend. And it's weird. I have gone line dancing all of one time with my fiance because she said, hey, can we go line dancing? I like line dancing. And I said, I will show up to the area where you line dance, but I won't dance because I'm not fun. She's still married and she can't leave. She's trapped. Entrapment. But when I was there, one of the things that I did, because I thought it was hilarious, was I was people watching. And there's 3 types of people, 4 types of people, 2.5, 3.5 types. Let's go with 3.5 types of people. You'll see 2 of them are kind of looped together. First group is people like my wife. It's younger women who are looking to go have a good time. Let's just put women in general. Women want to go line dancing to have a good time. That's what it seems like, whether they're age 21, 22, or age 50, which yes, there are 50 and older people there line dancing. They're there to have a hootenanny, a little bit of a hoot and holler, a little bit of a giddy up and a get down and a shindig, a spatula. There's one other term that I'm trying to think of and I can't. Mazel tov. But they're all out there on the dance floor, living their lives, having a great time. But the men are not there for line dancing. Now, there are 2.5 groups of men, which is why there's 2.5 groups and 3.5 total. I repeated myself. The first group of men is kind of like the women. They're there to have a good time. No man goes voluntarily if they are going to be dancing with a girl or with a significant other. They go there at the request of an female, and they're there to just have fun and make the female happy. I did not do that, but again, we're still married, so it worked out. Those guys are okay. Still a weird hobby, but still okay. But this is where things start to get weird. Here's the other two groups that kind of combine it into one. As a broad scope, it is men who are trying to get women. Now, women don't ever seem to go there to get men. If they do, weird. That's weird, girls. Cooties. But men are going there to get women. And I split this up into two types of groups because there's the young men trying to get old women, and there's the old men trying to get young women. And they never just want to go for their own age. Like, I'm not even joking about this. It was so funny. There was this like Botox Barbie sitting there at the bar. That's 3 B's in a row. That's pretty cool. Super based alliteration. But she's sitting there like lips like so far gone they're touching the next booth over. Forehead a mountain high. This is so mean, but I don't know who she is, so I can do this. And there's just some dude, probably 24 years old, arm around her shoulder, just going buying her drinks, getting her to smile, getting her out on the dance floor. And this dude was hunting. He was not there for the pension. That's all I'll say about that. And then the opposite is just some weird dude in a cowboy hat. Not a cowboy hat. They don't wear cowboy hats. Well, it's one or two. They're either wearing a cowboy hat, and that's the only cowboy attire they have on, like cowboy hat, t-shirt, and shorts, or the opposite, where they're wearing like jeans and then a baseball cap. But it's this old dude who's going after like these 23-year-old women, like trying to get down and dirty, and it's not dad bod. Like, it's just gone. Beer bellio is what it is. I hope I don't have a dad bod when I get older. I'm trying to get that father figure. The third one is Pinewood Derby racing. Now, this is something I do, and I agree that it is very stupid. Now, it should be said that Pinewood Derby racing is a Boy Scouts thing, but there are other groups that do it, and I'm a part of one of those other groups. But the important part is that you let the kids do the racing and the building themselves. You don't want to have those dads who come in and build the cars all for the kids. By the way, I should probably pause in case you don't know what Pinewood Derby racing. I realize there's a large portion of you guys that are stupid and don't know what's going on. Oh my gosh, I'm so sore. I chose like the worst car. So the Pinewood Derby is a race where you go down a track, insert clip here. And you make a car out of a block of wood and you put wheels on it, and then you let gravity go and race it and try to win the race. And the whole point is that you let the kid build it, you have fun. This was one of mine when I was a kid. And pretty much all they do is they sand it, they paint flames on it, a couple windows that are horribly unsymmetrical. Get a car that, this is supposed to be a Corvette. See on the back if it focuses. It's definitely not gonna focus. There we go. It says vet. But you let the kid have the fun. Now, one of the things that's become a problem is that a lot of these classes or these events have been overrun by dads who will just straight up build their cars for them. My dad would not do that for me. He would show me how to do things, but he would never do it for me, which was cool. I won a lot, but it was because he taught me, but he just could never get over the idea of watching me do well and then knowing in the back of his mind that he built his car for me. So I had to do everything myself, and it was great, but a lot of dads don't do that. A lot of dads will take it upon themselves to relive their glory days and their mechanical engineering degrees and use that to create the fastest cars possible for their kids without letting their kids do almost anything. There's a hilarious movie called Down and Derby about this. I watch it every year before my Pinewood Derby races, because I still do them. At least when I do them, though, we have an open class. So there's like 2 different kids classes, and then there's an open class, which is literally anyone who wants to enter. So they have a class specifically made for dads, so that way kids aren't getting like beat down the track by a dad, and a dad can make a car, or not make a car, but a dad can have his kid make their own car, but then the dad could also make their car on the side. It's actually cool. Like, for example, here's again my car, one of my cars that I made. Very speedy boy. This I made back when I was a peewee, and then this is the car I made this year. Yeah, minor improvement, you think? Yeah, I made this in like 2 weeks, and it did pretty stinking good. Yeah, that's how well my wheels roll. I got second in speed. I lost to a legitimate like engineer. He works at Garmin and is one of the top engineers at Garmin. So that's the competition I'm going up against. But leave the hobby for the kids. The competition in itself is not bad, but golly, the dads who make it their life mission to take over the event are pretty insufferable. Number 2, I can't stand grilling because I can't grill. And so therefore, if you can grill and you do it as a hobby, I think you're stupid. That's it. I suck at cooking. The #1 worst hobby in all of America, and this one is like not even an ironic thing. There's no caveat to it. It's just simply sports betting. Now, I think you might have noticed from my rain bet video that I do not like betting or gambling at all. I think it's very stupid. Even gambling responsibly just seems dumb because you know you're not gonna win unless you play penny slots. For 20 bucks, if you're gonna go spend 20 bucks doing something, I would rather spend that and go go-kart racing for a few minutes. It seems like more fun. But sports betting is everywhere, and it's ruined so much of being able to enjoy watching sports because everything is inundated with gambling. Sure, you can go on a whole gambling tangent, and I'm not gonna go on how bad gambling is and the financial irresponsibility of it. I'm just gonna talk about how annoying it is to have conversations with friends and talk about something like a football game that happened or a baseball game or whatever it may be, just to have fun conversation, not even taking it too seriously. And then someone brings up, I was 3 yards away from my parlay hitting, or if Steph Curry hadn't made that last three, I would have hit my 6-leg parlay. Shut up! And when they posted it on their story too, like, oh, I was so close on my bet, it just drives me up a wall. And I don't even live on walls. I can't believe that people actually bet for fun and just like take it seriously. Like, it's one thing to take a sport too seriously in terms of like analyzing a college team's recruits and their yards per game and just making a podcast about it when you're not like actually an analyst. I can be like, okay, it's a little weird, but I understand the passion for it. But when you twist that to something monetary and make it all about gambling, that's a layer removed. Because at least these weird sports podcasters who have the most stupid opinions and have never played a game in their life other than football recess, at least they're passionate about the game itself. No matter how dumb they are, I like have to point out how dumb they are because I'm not a football expert, but I have played a few games. And people are so stupid. But when you talk about the game versus when you just talk about betting and you're like, well, I don't care about how the game went. I don't care about how the team performed. All I care is if my parlay hit. And buddy boy, you're $6 grand down in 2 weeks because you're stupid in your betting. I said I wouldn't talk about the financial irresponsibility of it. Yet here we are, buddy. And that's it, buddy. Tired of this stupid gambling stuff. Golly, at least it's not fishing.